Welcome in, everybody. Little Thursday night bonus clip here on the Aaron Torres pod. I'm your host, Aaron Torres. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody's ready for what should be a fun interview that is coming up here in just a second. So for people who don't know much about my background, I actually began my career as a writer, a journalist, interview, pen, paper, pad, whatever. And about probably 8-9 years ago, I did a big story on the late 99, 90s, early 2000s Miami Hurricanes. And one of the stars of that team was Damione Lewis. Damione Lewis, first round pick, defensive lineman out of Miami. Well, Damione Lewis now is the defensive line coach with the Colorado Buffaloes, the most interesting, most talked about program in all of college football. So as soon as I saw that Damione was there in the fall, I knew we had to get him on at some point. And with the Buffs sitting at 5-2, this feels like the perfect moment. So in just a minute, we're going to bring on Damione Lewis, former first-round pick, former All-American, former Miami Hurricane, now with Colorado. His defensive line, by the way, is one of the big success stories in all of college football. One of the reasons that Colorado is 5-2. We'll talk about his career, Coach Prime, coaching on the same staff that Travis Hunter's there every day. What is that like? So we will get to Damione Lewis in just one moment. Before we do, though, do want to welcome back our partner, our sponsor, our friend, BlueChew and BlueChew.com. Fellas, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Well, times change. Your football team might stink, but here's the good news. That's where BlueChew comes in, okay? BlueChew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. To get started with BlueChew, it's easy. Just go to BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. No awkward trips to the doctors, no waiting at the pharmacy, no stink eyes, no raised eyebrows, no nothing. Of course, while that all sounds good, I know many of you are wondering, Torres, does it actually work? We'll try it for a month for free and see. You're going to love it. Your partner's going to love it. Your football team might stink, but you're going to be rocking in the bed sheets like you're the 85 Bears, okay? So for more information, and how about this, a special offer for listeners of the Aaron Torres pod, this is all you got to do. Go to BlueChew.com, and if you use the code Torres at checkout, the product is free. All you got to do is pay $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Torres, product free, $5 shipping. Again, BlueChew.com, promo code Torres to receive that first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BlueChew for sponsoring the Aaron Torres pod. Speaking of sponsoring the Aaron Torres pod, also do want to give a quick shout out to our friends, our buddies, ColliPuffs and ColliPuffs.com. Okay, so here's the bottom line. It's football season. You're on the couch all day, pretty much every day. Thursday night football, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, Monday night. And you're looking for that healthy but delicious snack alternative. That's where ColliPuffs comes in, okay? ColliPuffs, family-owned company, not far from where I live. The owner of the company named Joey. Listen, he's just like you. He's just like me. Football fan looking for a healthy snack. He has kids. He's trying to figure out, okay, what can I feed them that they're going to like, but is also healthy? And that's how he came up with ColliPuffs. Okay, these are baked but not fried, healthy ingredients. And here is the best part. Unlike all that crap in the grocery aisle that you normally eat, the Fritos, the Doritos, the Lay's, the whatever, these things are healthy. So for more information on ColliPuffs, all you got to do is go to ColliPuffs.com. Try them. You'll love them. You can order them there. You can also order them on Amazon.com. Amazon.com, all you got to do is search. You got a cart open anyway. I don't even want to know what's in that cart. It's none of my business. But go to Amazon.com, search ColliPuffs, go to ColliPuffs.com for more information. They're delicious. You're going to love them. Thank you to ColliPuffs. All right. Pay the bills. Now, it is time to get to an interview that I know you guys and girls are going to love. Damione Lewis, Colorado defensive line coach. He's going to talk about Coach Prime, Travis Hunter, the 5-2 Buffs. Quick break. Damione Lewis coming on up. All right, joining me via Zoom. So a lot of people don't remember this, but many years ago, before I was in all this podcast, YouTube stuff, I used to actually write articles and stuff. And One of my favorite interviews that I ever did, I was talking about Miami football, is with Damione Lewis, former first round pick, Miami Hurricane. He is now the head coach, or excuse me, the defensive line coach with the Colorado Buffaloes. Phenomenal, man. It's been awesome to watch. I'm glad to join you. I don't know why I called you the head coach since we all know who the head coach of the Buffs is, but Damione Lewis, man,
Ain't
how
no
you
doubt.
doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Great to catch up with you, my boy. Been a while, man.
Dude, it
Glad to see
has.
you doing good things, doing the podcast stuff. I remember you was just a youngling when
I,
we first met.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. Let me ask you, how much are you, you came from the NFL last year. I know you did some college stuff and everything, but came from the NFL. I hear Coach Sapp always talking about the impact that the younglings and the young men have on his life. How much are you enjoying kind of being in college football? Again, I know you've coached previously in college football, but you were with the Seahawks last year. How much have you forget the wins, losses, all that, but just working with young guys every day, seeing them get better, all that good stuff?
Oh, they make you empty your tank every day. In the league, it's kind of laid back in your coaching approach and stuff like that. But with these young guys, they up early in the morning. You got to get them with the cold in the eye, got them yawning coming in, just getting them revved up and ready to go for practice and stuff like that. It's been amazing. It's been really fun. It kind of rejuvenated me as well, chasing these dudes around. So it's been awesome.
That's fantastic. Let me ask you this. I don't even fully know the story. I know you were with the Seahawks last year. You were hired, obviously, as an analyst in the offseason. I know there was some stuff going on in the coaching staff, but how did you end up at Colorado? Did you have a previous relationship with Coach Prime? I mean, how did you end up with the Buffs here this season?
Well, I know Ray reached out to BT Brandon Jordan, just looking for a guy, and he gave him my name. And then I talked to Ray, and this happened probably Monday, Tuesday, after we had played our last game against Arizona out in Seattle. And so I talked to Ray, and then next thing you know, I ended up talking to Coach Prime. And next thing you know, they were hiring me here as the D line coach, or as an analyst at the time, and then converted to the defensive line coach.
Fantastic. Obviously, Buffs sitting at 5-2 heading into this weekend, Cincinnati. How much have you enjoyed? Your defensive line is one of the stories of this season for the Buffs. I mean, how much have you personally enjoyed? I know you just mentioned it, but watching the growth of all these guys. I mean, again, a lot of them were there before you got there or didn't really know you. You probably didn't know them. It's not like you had been there for 3-4 years recruiting them. How much have you enjoyed kind of growing with this group throughout the season?
It's been awesome, man. Just seeing where they were in the spring and what we look like in the spring, and then the first game of the season, and just seeing the progression week in and week out. It takes a lot of work in this, and it's a lot of grind time, a lot of tough conversations with guys, but they've really locked into what we're doing and the approach we're taking and our style and our standard. And it's been awesome to see how they've grown and flourished in this. And I'm just hoping right now that we still hadn't seen the best that's to come out of this group. They work really hard. They do well together. They work well together, and they've taken command of their own fate, so to speak, as it goes and as it pertains to playing. So it's been awesome to watch these guys just kind of grow and develop. It's been amazing.
Let me ask you this. Every coach talks about to his players or her players or whoever blocking out the noise. It's easy to say that, but one, it's hard to do. But two, I could be wrong, and you correct me if I am wrong, but it feels like it would be especially hard at Colorado. Everybody's got an opinion on coach, your program. I look at it as an outsider of you went from one win to 4 last year. That's a major improvement. You know better than anybody how hard it is to have a 400% win percentage improvement, but others say, oh, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is everybody's got an opinion on the Buffs. Everybody's got an opinion on Coach Prime and how you guys are doing it. How do you keep the main thing, keep these guys focused on just getting better every week? Because like I said, they certainly are on your defensive line.
Well, to me, it's easy in the conversations with the guys because it's reminiscent of what it was back in the day when we were at UM. You remember we were put on probation my first year there, and every time something happened is the first thing to hit on ESPN. I know the media attention and the social media attention was non-existent back then as far as social media, but the media attention was there. So it's just like, dude, you got to stay locked into the main thing. We can't listen to the good stuff that's being said. You can't listen to the bad stuff that's being said. All you can do is write your own narrative as a player. Make sure you come in every day, locked in, ready to go, and take care of business. Because at the end of the day, if you play well, they're going to talk good about you. If you play bad, they're going to talk bad about you. That's sports. It's happening everywhere around the country. Just so happens in college football, you guys are the target. So how do you want it to go? Do you want it to go they're talking bad about you, or do you want them talking well about you? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter so long as you're going out and giving everything you got and leaving everything you got out on the field. Things are happening the way you want it to.
Maybe, maybe you're doing a great job blocking out the noise as well, but did you realize the kind of quote unquote microscope that Colorado is under before you got there this spring?
I mean, just watching them from last year, they're on TV a lot. And, for a new head coach to come in, normally that doesn't happen. But being Coach Prime, the cameras are going to follow. So, you understand what you're getting into coming into this. So, I mean, the same speech I give to them, I give to myself. I'm telling the other coaches, it is what it is. We got to stay locked into the main thing. We can't listen to outside noise. It cannot dictate how we go into each and every week in preparation for our next opponent.
Take us behind the scenes. What is it actually like to work with Coach Prime on a day-to-day basis?
It's been awesome, man. He challenges stuff every day in practice. It's like being in the league for me because, a lot of noise talking, going back and forth with guys. So we have fun with it. I like going into the stretch line, messing with the offensive line, getting my guys gassed up. So we just make it fun and competitive. It's like a clubhouse, man. We're just having a great time with it.
That's one thing I've noticed about the staff, and I know Coach Prime has been intentional about that, but Phil Loadholt, offensive line coach, played in the league. Warren Sapp, whatever, defensive assistant graduate, whatever he is, played in the league. You played in the league. Coach Prime played in the league. I know the DC came from the league. So like you said, I guess there's probably a little bit of a similar vibe. I know you don't want to speak for Coach Prime, but I assume that's pretty intentional of putting that staff together of like, hey, you guys want to play at the highest level. The guys that are going to be coaching you every day know how to get you there.
And that's kind of the vision with the guys. Is like, if you guys want to do this, you want to change your story, you want to change your life, your family story, then we're putting guys around you that's been there and done that. Listen to those guys, take in what they're teaching, understand how they're trying to prepare you mentally and physically to be able to go perform on the next level. So, I mean, it all kind of ties hand in hand.
What is one thing about Coach Prime that people that aren't with him every day would not know about him?
Coach Prime does not cuss at all. Coach Prime is intense every morning in those meetings. Like, he sets the tone every day. He comes in, when he walks in, you know what kind of mood he's in. So the guys already know when he get up there and he go to speaking, he's coming at some stuff that he didn't like in practice. He's going to say some stuff he did like, but he don't come about the stuff he didn't like. So it's just kind of awesome to see how he talks to the team, how they interact with what he says, and how they kind of bought into what he's saying. It's been amazing.
How about Coach Sapp? First of all, I was trying to do the math in my head. So Coach Sapp was a little bit ahead of you at Miami. You guys must have known each other prior to this experience, right?
Yeah, Sapp came out 2 years before I got to and came around a lot. So, from college, I've been knowing him since my freshman year in college. But him in the locker room, him with the guys in the meeting room and stuff like that, it is hilarious, man. It's like comedy hour in there when we got the guys in the room. I mean, we're serious, sure, but, there's a lot of jokes being cracked and stuff like that. It's literally like being in an NFL film session. You got each guys cracking on each other and stuff like that. So it's always fun. We keep it light until it's time to get serious. We get locked into the details of what we got going on. But I want guys happy and ready to come to work every morning because, again, they're getting in the building at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we're out on the field at 9 o'clock. So, you want to make sure the guys are locked in and happy about being in the environment that we've kind of set forth for them. So it's been amazing in that sense as well, is that we make sure we come through for the dudes, having high energy in there every day, and guys are responding to it.
Let me ask you, you mentioned the Miami days, how much going through it, like you said, kind of being in the spotlight, but it was a rebuild when you were there for people who don't remember. As you mentioned, coming off probation, it was your high school class. It was Edgerrin James. It was Ed Reed. It was, a lot of these guys that, you had to play early. Frankly, and I remember talking to you about this years ago is, I'm not, no negativity, but you struggled early and you kind of grew and you built. And I think there's probably a little bit of a parallel from Colorado 1-11 to 4-8 to, whatever you guys are going to end up being this year. But I remember talking to you about that was like, we came in scholarship reductions. There's no depth. They threw us all into the fire. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's some weird parallel there,
Yeah, I think we had like 15 or 16, either true freshmen or redshirt freshmen or true sophomores playing on the field in 97. We were a young football team. We made a lot of mistakes, but we played hard and we fought through the hard times. And then at the end of it, my class didn't get an opportunity to play for the national championship because remember
that's another conversation. Don't get me started on that one. I'm still mad about that.
But the following years, they reaped the benefits of it. So just the whole mindset of rebuilding the program, what it takes, the mindset behind it, the work ethic that goes into rebuilding a program like that is not much different than what we're doing here.
I'll say it so you don't have to. 2000, for people who don't remember, Miami beat Florida State, and Florida State got to play for the title. How many natties would you guys have won if there was a 12-team playoff back in that day? You would have won like 6 in a row. Anyway.
Yeah, we'd have made a good run back then. Ain't no doubt about it. It'd have been on Nick Saban level over at Alabama for sure.
Love it. I was going to ask you, let me ask you this. So I know it's not your position group. I know you don't want to speak for other coach, whatever. How fun is it for you? Because you yourself, first round pick, All-American, you played at the highest level. And of course, you played with some of the greats that have ever played this game. How fun is it to you to watch Travis Hunter every single day? And does it amaze you the way that because I have no, I mean, I played high school football, but like not at the level that you guys have, certainly not both ways, all that stuff. I mean, as somebody who gets to see it every day, are you amazed by what Travis does on a day-to-day basis?
I love his approach. Like, he has the right approach to the game. He comes in every day. He's thrilled to be here, whether it's the off season or during the season. He works extremely hard. He knows what he has to do to get his body prepared to take on the vigorous work that he has to do, because he's playing, 50 snaps on offense and 60 snaps on defense, whatever it may be. So he's playing well over 100 snaps a game. That takes a different human to do that. So to sit back and watch him play the way that he plays and prepare the way that he prepares, because it's the same thing in practice. When you go to practice, he's on offense. And then when we go ones on defense, he's on defense. Like, it's no break. He'll get a swig of water and he's ready to go. So just seeing how his approach is and how tough he is about it and his mindset about it, it's really cool to see a young man have that type of maturity and approach to the day-to-day work that he has to do every day. It's awesome, bro. It's really cool.
I was going to say, for people who don't understand, to play one way at the highest level of college football and, of course, the NFL, but explain to them like how hard it is just to have your body right for 12 games on one side of the football.
It's absolutely exhausting, because, I mean, when guys come off the field, we may go 6 or 7 plays in a row on defense, and guys are absolutely gassed. And what he's doing, getting a drink of water, turning right around, and then he's going 6 or 7 plays in a row on offense. It's crazy, bro, to see that every day. But he does it, and he does it with a smile on his face.
Very good. Just a couple more, we'll get you out of here. I mean, one, to quote Belichick, you're on to Cincinnati, baby. I would just ask, like, whatever it is, 5 games left with these guys, plus, knock on wood, the postseason. What are the next steps for this team? Because you're playing well. I keep saying it, man. Like, those close losses are now becoming wins, and frankly, in some cases, dominant wins. And I don't want to put too much, positivity in the air. I'll put some Nick Saban rat poison. I don't want to be hyping you guys up too much, but you're playing great football. It seems like you're getting getting better every week, and it feels like there's still more levels for this thing to go to.
I think, just for me, with my guys in the room, like being around Pete for 5 years, Pete Carroll, you learn the one game approach. If you don't learn anything else from Pete, you're going to learn that. And that's been what we've been preaching in the room since day one. Like, it is 12 one-game seasons. One game is no important or no less important than the next. So we got to be locked in each opportunity we're out on the field, it's a championship opportunity. So right now we're getting ready for Cincinnati. Cincinnati is the championship game. So let's go out and play it like it's a championship game. And then it's on to the next, and it's on to the next till we get toward the end of the season. And once it's all said and done, we'll see what the cards lay. You don't look forward, you don't look back. You take care of the task at hand. The challenge that's in front is the most important one. And I'm thinking these guys are really buying in and locking into that approach, and it's worked dividends for them on the field on Saturdays.
Fantastic. I'll let you go on this. If you want to share, you can, if you don't have to, but I seem to remember you ripping a phone out of a wall at Miami. Are you tell the story, and then are you going to have to, if something goes wrong, are you going to have to do something at halftime similar to get the guys fired up?
I haven't had to get to that level of anger with guys. I know I can be a bit of a hothead from time to time, but I remember in college, we were having some issues with the phone. You had, just
pre-cell phone. Yeah.
There's 18 to 22-year-olds in the locker room. So you can imagine, we got one phone in the room, no cell phones. Some people had the little Skyway pagers and stuff like that, but, we limited when it comes to access. So, the phone is blowing up nonstop, and we're getting ready to go to practice. And we just came off of our my sophomore year. We didn't have a great season. I think we finished like 9-3, which is way below standard for what we're doing things at UM. And as we're going, practice is falling off. Guys are not focused out in practice. I just got to the point where I had enough. So me and Dan sitting there talking, Dan Morgan, And then next thing you know, the phone rings and I just freaking blow a gasket, wouldn't snatch the phone out the wall. I know that story has been around for a long time. That's been almost running 30 years now.
All I know is when I interviewed Butch Davis, he said, if you talk to Damian, ask him about ripping the phone out of the wall. He was like, that's when I knew, he's like, I got the right guy leading my defense right there. So, Coach Lewis, man, you guys got a game on Saturday. Thank you so much for the time. Would love to do this again off season, maybe heading into a postseason game. I don't know. We could figure it out. The staff at Colorado has been incredible helping me set this up. So thank you for the time. Thank you to everybody at Colorado who helped. And yeah, hopefully we can do this again soon. Okay.
And no doubt. I appreciate you following us, man. And thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.